Glad to get that win. This is a fun game to be a part of. It's a good rivalry. The fans love it. I think the schools enjoy it, and it was a great game. Credit Western Kentucky. Coach Harper's doing a tremendous job over there. Off to a great start. The one thing about his teams, they're resilient. They were resilient last year, the second half of the season, even in the NCAA tournament game. That's one thing I kept reminding our guys is they've been able to always come back, and they did. They were down 6, came back. They're down 8, came back. They're down 10, came back, and we weren't ever able to break free. But also proud of our guys for a good win. Because they're gonna win a lot of games and do well in their league. So proud of our guys and appreciate everybody coming out, the fans.
Any questions? Coach, when Ed picked up those 2 quick fouls at the beginning of the second half, what was going through your head there?
So early in the second half, and we were playing well. I think we were up 8, I think is what they said when he got in that 3rd foul, and we were really starting to hopefully pull away a little bit. And those are some of the fouls he hasn't – a couple cheap fouls that he hasn't gotten this year. And I thought he got a couple cheap ones that he can't afford to get for us. And then we had to make a decision to just roll with Zay for a while and went 4 guards for a minute. But, that was a big factor in that period. And then Ed came back with about 10 minutes, 11 minutes to go. And, again, he finished up with a tremendous day. I think he had 16 and 8. And he's been great all year.
Coach Ray Harper said that Isaiah was kind of the key down the stretch, but for the first 3 quarters of the game, he wasn't a factor. What was the difference in your eyes?
It's everybody. Most people are going to people game plan for Isaiah. The one thing, Isaiah has such a good feel. He lets things come to him a little bit, but and he missed a couple shots that he usually makes. There's 2 or 3 shots he usually makes, and then he goes 10 for 16 from the field and has 28 points or 29 points, and that's a heck of a day. But, the second half, when it was 58 all, I think he had 8 of the next 10 points. And when we got up 10, he hits the 3 off the handoff. He hits the 3, the pull-up off the other handoff. He makes a couple free throws. He makes another big 3 to put us up 1. That was back when it was, I think, 55, 54. But, I needed to start in that little stretch. I tried to pinpoint to try to get him some touches, and our guys did a good job doing that. But he has the mentality. Sometimes he's not just going to force things over and over. He'll do it every now and then. But he was big when he needed to be big, and that's a sign of a very, very good player.
Coach, what about the play out of the timeout late where Fields scored? Was that something specifically you drew up, or just something that sort of evolved?
Yeah, no, it's something we ran at it for a little bit, and I credit our guys though, because we haven't worked on it a ton. We just have it kind of in our playbook, but credit our guys. Dexter making a great cut, and then Ed making a tremendous pass. He's a tremendous passer, and really made a big play for us because that was big. We needed a bucket in that situation. That was a big play, but our guys really executed it. Coming out of a timeout where we haven't worked on it a ton.
Talking about Dexter's efficiency this game, 5 of 8, 4 rebounds.
Yeah, I thought he was really good. I thought his energy was really good defensively. He plays so hard, and his body, people look at him and think sometimes maybe he's out of shape, but he's just one of those, big wide-body kids, he's in good shape. But he closes out sometimes undisciplined. He's got to close out short and stay disciplined because he gave up some shots to Harris off of that. But outside, he really should have been 5 for 7. He took one tough shot off our baseline action, and if he takes that out, he's 5 for 7. I thought he played extremely well, and we needed that push from him tonight.
Coach,
proud of him.
Considering Western's injury situation, Price didn't play and Crook didn't play most of the second half. And considering just the overall outcome, are you still encouraged about the victory, or is part of you kind of maybe we should have played a little bit better, or does it say more about Western Kentucky?
No, believe me, anytime we win, that's a great thing. That's a positive. That's part of the game. I mean, credit Western Kentucky though for the resiliency. Fant was really good. Akal was good. Then they got in foul trouble, and that kind of balanced out that. But I thought Harris stepped up and played good. But sometimes the worst position to be in is when teams, face an injury like that during the game and some other guys step up. And, the thing I said about Western's team, they've been resilient. really the last, since I guess January, February of last year, they've been a resilient group. So it's a great win for us. We'll look at the tape, see what we've got to get better at, but not worried about personnel on who's in there or out there because, each team has its own story.
Coach, how many free throws is your team going to take in practice?
We usually shoot them better, and that was a big key too. We missed some. We missed a bunch, and by guys that make them, Stacy Wilson's a guy that, as good as he shoots the basketball, you'd think he'd make free throws better, but he's right in the 60, 65 range. Ed usually makes them in big games, and he missed one, and even Isaiah missed one. It's just something we gotta. I won't make a big emphasis, but I'll tell him to shoot some, and we'll continue to work on it. But I think last year, we got to the free throw line and we made free throws around that 70% clip, and we got to get back up, in that area. But because that was a big key. Even down the stretch, we missed a couple that kept it within striking distance.
What about Latrez? What's the latest as far as?
He's practicing, and he's still kind of got that. If you've seen anybody recovering from an Achilles, and this is the first time I've seen it, but he's kind of got that giddy up. In practice, and we're not going to try to press him back and force him back. He's just going to continue to practice, and then I would think maybe sometime in January, he'll start getting back into the fold. It's just tough to really evaluate because I don't know how he's supposed to look. I don't know if this is what he's going to look like and this is what we got, or does he have does he have still a little ways to go? I just don't know what the final picture is supposed to look like.
It's impossible to tell how much and if he'll be able to help you down the stretch?
Yeah, I can't really tell right now. In practice, he's in some drills, out of some drills. There's some things that last year that if he was healthy that he can't do right now. So there's still some growth that he need to have in his game. But I told him, if February we can have you back and playing well, then I'll be excited because we need another little spurt up front. I thought Zay did a good job for his minutes, but Fant and McCall are good. They're big and physical, and they're strong bodies. I mean, Fant's really good. He's only a sophomore.
Coach, in the end of the game, you guys seemed like you struggled a little bit against Western's press, kind of dribbled it into the corner a little bit. What did you see?
Well, the first time we knew they were going to probably have that free throw. Brandon wasn't supposed to take the ball out, and Brandon took it out, and he should have just left it dropped, and we should have gotten set up in our press offense. The second thing, sometimes we weren't in the right spots that we needed to. Isaiah's hard to guard in that situation. We needed to either get in him. We got post guys coming up. We never turned it over. We never turned it over in the back half court of the press. What we got to do a better job of, and I know you tweeted it yesterday during the Butler game is making a simple play when Ed threw it out of bounds, and then Isaiah throws the play to Ed. Those are plays that it keeps it at 8 to 10 instead of giving them a chance to get it to 6 or 4. But when our guys really needed to execute, like he talked about, they executed, and they've done that all last year and a half out of timeouts.
Did Western do a good job of kind of keeping you guys out of transition, especially in the first half?
Yeah, well, they tried to. If you really were paying attention, that's the one thing I saw right away. They really weren't trying to push it in transition. They were going to try to make it a grinded out game, and they did a good job in doing that and really kind of keep the tempo. And we were trying to get it sped up, and we don't press and to try to get it sped up. We really just try to score off of our half-court defense and look to attack. But, shot selection a little bit, turnovers a little bit, gave them some easy runouts to keep it close. But they did a good job of, unless it was something really easy, they were going to run offense.